Hello there. I am back. I wanted to reintroduce myself and reintroduce this channel because along the way, I'm kind of sporadically putting videos out and I'm mostly using it for my back office things that include my course modules and lessons that I use privately that are sellable to other people. However, I have definitely realized that I have not been utilizing this resource enough. So today is a new day, and I am coming in here to reintroduce myself. My name is Jodi Watkins. I have come to learn that the things that I'm going to tell you, the things that I do, is not who I am, but what I love. We tend to introduce ourselves and we say, I am A. What that does is limit us tremendously. What I used to do when I would go to networking events and things like that, I would say, hi, my name is Jodi Watkins and I am a personal trainer. The problem with that is I also love to teach people about nutrition. I'm a nutritionist. I also love to talk about mental health and mindset. And when I would say I'm a personal trainer, I was just making myself that. I also am a mom. So I tend to relate with overwhelmed moms or women who tend to have some anxiety and things in their lives. So when I decided to redo the channel, not necessarily redo, everything else is still going to stay there. But when I decided to kind of get my act together and kind of, come in here and say, you know what, I'm going to get intentional. I'm going to schedule. I'm going to make sure that I show up for the people out there. When I decided to do that, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was not putting our titles as who we are. We are much more than the titles society gives us. So we have to be careful, especially if we already have some trauma and some baggage from our upbringing or our lives in general, which most of us do. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I ended up founding a company called To Be Epic Fitness and Nutrition LLC. It will soon be rebranded, but for right now, it's definitely staying under that name. I founded that company officially in 2017 as a way to continue working with clients, helping them become the healthiest version of themselves. But that came after years of my own personal experiences, not knowing what to do to be healthy, to understand nutrition, and to understand how to fuel my body. So I created this company as a way to not only help others who are relying or needed someone to help them, but it also became something I used as a way to help myself. All right. Later on, as I got into real estate just a couple years ago, I founded a company called J. Marie Realty LLC. That is now considered a real estate investing company. And I do teach people about multiple streams of income because that is very important. And I'll tell you a little bit about why that became so important in my life. All right. I also have Lady J Consulting Group, which is a ghostwriting service, but it's also when I go speak and things like that, I can go under that name. It's all Jodi Watkins though. Okay. But what I love to do is collaborate with others and bring them in as well. So that way it's not just me, if that makes sense. I am an Air Force veteran, but that is not all of who I am, right? So again, we have to be careful with what we say. I did spend 15 years in the Air Force. Okay. I was a former flight line mechanic and a medical laboratory technician. Before that, I was going to school for exercise and sports science. So it's interesting that here we are 20 some odd years later, and I've definitely come full circle. All right. I do hold multiple certifications in health, wellness, nutrition. I love working with athletes, but I also love working with people who are just in any part of their journey who are willing to put effort into learning how to be the healthiest version of themselves. It's not an overnight fix. So those are the people that I desire to work with. I do have a master's degree in healthcare management from Columbia Southern University. So I do love school. I'm just one of those people. I love to research, I love to write, and I actually love to learn. So that's what I do. I will also be applying for a doctoral program in counseling and psychological studies. Due to my own journey, I have understood that the necessity of being able to tap into the human brain is so high. Not everyone can do that unless they can relate. So everything that we do is usually based on past experience. What we end up embracing as our passion is based on our experiences. So when I went from just fitness and nutrition to now it's a whole life holistic program, it was because I realized I was missing the mark with things that I needed. And I also was paying attention to the things that I heard from clients and people that I'm around on a daily basis. So it's a little bit of that. I'm like I said, I do ghostwriting. I am an author. I have my book Reclaim Your Life. I have other books in the making. I did go into real estate and I'm also a professional speaker. So if you need anything, please go to my website. You can go to the link tree that's listed here and reach out. We can definitely get on a call. If you are looking for more in-depth strategy when it comes to mindset, time management, self-care, nutrition, exercise, and then consistency, I highly encourage you to use the link, book a strategy call with me. And I don't know how to not pour into people. So you will have everything that you need to be able to continue the journey. And then if you would like to work with me, we can go from there. All right. My passion, I'm dedicated to helping others step into their greatness and reclaim their lives. I have fallen short habitually on the things that were right in front of me due to imposter syndrome, not feeling like I was adequate enough, not thinking that people would listen to me. All right. So I know that there are other people out there, and I come in contact with a ton of women out there who are literally walking that same walk. And I am here to tell you that you are enough and you are beautiful and you can literally do anything that you put your mind to. So I want you to think about whatever you're doing in life right now. What would it look like if you were operating in your greatness? What is it that you have in you? And we all have things inside of us. What do you have in you that can help someone else out there? That's what you have to think about. All right. I am partnered with a company called First Form International. Their CEO is Andy Frisella, and he's just an amazing individual. The company itself, hands down, best company out there. I'm very particular when it comes to nutrition and what we ingest. So when I came across this company, I've been taking their supplements since 2016 as a way to help me in my own journey. And then when I realized just how quality and how transparent they are, I stuck with them. In 2018, I became one of their nutrition coaches, and everything that I do is literally in partnership with them. On the real estate side, I am in partnership with an amazing community called Invest With Her Club. My good friend and business partner, Denise Armstrong, she is also an amazing soul. And we are on a mission to literally bring communities out of poverty and teach the next generation how to not only create wealth in their lives, but also be the healthiest versions of themselves. So we're on a mission to do that. And I'm so grateful for that partnership. I'm also in partnership with Convene Communities. I'm an admin and a coach there. I teach business owners how to utilize the platform to create courses, content, leverage their YouTube channels in another space to where they can actually interact on a deeper level with those who come in contact with them. So that's what we do over there. We collaborate, we work together, we have affiliate programs built in, and we just are on a mission to level up together and bring other people with us. We are people with hearts of gold, and I'm grateful for the connection that I have with the founder, Matthew Curran, and he's been my mentor for the last few years and helped me get out of my own way. So what I'm doing now with others came a lot from that mentorship that I have, that relationship that I have with him. All right. So I always say, pay it forward. If you learn something in life, you should always be paying that forward, because we don't know how long we're going to be here. So it's important to be able to not only learn information, but also teach information, educate others, and make sure that they have everything that they need to where they can go out and teach it to other people as well. I don't do quick fixes. You will not see me giving away some quick fix diet scheme. All right. I want you to understand how to create your life and the healthiest version of yourself so that you can teach others to do the same. All right. So that's my mission. My personal journey, I've had to overcome feelings of inadequacy and worthlessness. And I don't want to put that in past tense. That is every single day, you guys. What I've found in my own journey and through different mental health modalities, therapy modalities, one called EMDR and one called NET, neuro emotional technique, which is what I'm going through right now. I found that a lot of these things I was genetically disposed to. So it's in my DNA. So my feelings of worthlessness, I'm not enough, things like that was literally in my DNA. So if that's the case, it's going to take a whole lot more to fight against those feelings of worthlessness and inadequacy on a daily basis. So I tend to help other people do that, because at the end of the day, most of us are not operating in our greatness because we don't believe we can do it. And that's a problem. So that's what I love to do there based on my own personal journey. I did experience profound spiritual growth and healing through my journey. I got very depressed. I had suicidal thoughts, and I really just got to the point where I could not do it on my own anymore. And people, unfortunately, cannot always be there for us either. So we have to have a higher power to rely on, so where when we are weak, we have someone else that we can go to, even if it's something that we've created in our minds. So whatever that is for you, I call it God. That was my journey. And that's why I literally got to a point where I had to fall to my knees and just say, Lord, if you're there, please come in. I can't do this alone anymore. And that's where my spiritual journey came into play. I am very passionate about connecting deeply with clients and speaking in front of groups. As much as I'm going to tell you this, I'm not going to sit here and say I love speaking in front of groups. Even doing a video like this is uncomfortable for me. However, I had another mentor a long time ago, and he said, Jodi, you're your own problem. He said, you want to help a lot of people, but you're in your own way. So instead of making it about them, you're making it about you and what your fears are. So I had to really take that to heart. At first, I was like, I don't like that. Right? But I really had to take that to heart. And every time I go speak in front of a group now, I think about that. And I think about what he told me. And I'm like, you know what? That is so true. I want to make sure that I can have a lasting impact on others, and I can help them create the life that they desire through my own personal experiences. If I'm not sharing that on a larger level, I'm doing them a disservice, and I don't want to do that. So I have to make sure that I continue to show up, no matter if I'm uncomfortable, no matter if I'm fearful, no matter if I'm questioning, am I enough? None of those things can matter at the point of, I'm going to give you everything that I have. Like I said earlier, I don't know how to not pour into people. So I'm going to give you everything that I have. And I have to be okay with knowing that, yeah, I'm not going to resonate with every single person out there, but there's going to be someone out there that I will resonate with. And they are going to be the one who reaches out and says, hey, I want to work with you on a different level, on a more intimate level. And that's the person that I am targeting. That's the person that I want to reach out to. And I also know that if I get in front of more people, then the chances are I will have more people who want to work with me on a more intimate level. So that is the premise behind it. I want to make sure that I am targeting the people who I align with. I am not for everyone, and neither are you. That is okay. What we have to do is stop worrying about the people who don't want to listen to us and really focus in and put our energy into the people who do. There are people out there who want to work with you because you have something that they need. And that's what I had to learn as well. All right. As far as what I'm really also passionate about, I love building community. We all need community. I don't care who we are. I know introverts out there are like, no, I don't. I'll just stay to myself. But I'm sorry, when times are hard, we all need people, even if it's just a couple people that are willing to come and pick us up when we are down. If we don't have that, that's where depression can come in. And I battle that. Like I said, I battle that every day. I battle PTSD, depression, and anxiety on a daily basis. But what I've learned is as long as I utilize the tools that I've come in contact with along the way and the tools that I now can coach on, I can be okay. I don't have to sit in the things that are weighing me down anymore. And for those of us who have experienced childhood trauma and our upbringings were not so great, I grew up, my dad left when I was 3. My mom was an alcoholic as far back as I can remember. She remarried to an abusive person. So, there was a lot of that, domestic violence. I endured a lot of yelling, being told I wasn't enough, right? So not only was it in my DNA, but now I'm growing up with this, right? So I used to have a lot of anger built up. There was just a lot of things inside of me, and I didn't know how to filter that. And I know that there's other people out there, and I've actually talked to kids out there who are enduring the same thing that I've gone through. And so if this video can help any one of you or your kid who needs to know that, hey, just because what you're going through right now is your reality, that does not mean that has to be your entire life. Had someone told me that when I was younger, I don't know if it would have set in, but it could have at least planted a seed. And that's what I desire to do. I want to plant seeds into the next generation. I want to plant seeds into anyone that I come in contact with. So if this video resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, and you want to hear more, we're going to go over mindset. We're going to go over how mindset affects daily life. We're going to go over the power of positive thinking and a growth mindset, which is what I'm having to embrace now in life in my 40s. Right? You don't have to wait that long, okay? And I'm also going to be giving you examples of how changing your mindset can lead to positive changes just based on my own experience. Now, again, I still habitually have the limiting beliefs. I still can self-sabotage, but that does not mean that's where I have to live. That does not mean that's where I have to dwell. So I will be giving you now regular content on focusing in on your mindset and your personal development, because I know all too well just how important these things are. I'm going to be giving you practical tips and strategies for improving different areas of your life. All right. I'll be starting up the podcast again. It's going to be rebranded into the Jodi Watkins Show. So I'll be bringing other experts on who can talk about these things. The brain is so interesting, and our genetics, when we filter all these things in, some of us were doomed from the start. But that absolutely does not mean we have to stay there. It's up to us, though. Change is up to us. So I want to encourage you now, make sure you subscribe to this channel, Make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you share with other people. Okay. And let's build out the community. Make sure you go to the link tree, join the Step Into Your Greatness community, be part of that. There's a discussion board. We will have some engaging discussions. There's already a ton of discussions on there. So please go in there and, go back and forth, talk about anything that you need to talk about. Have people, they'll go in there, they'll ask questions. Sometimes I do a video for the questions, but just make sure you're engaging. Let's not sit around and let life pass us by anymore. It is time. It is time to step into our greatness, but we cannot do that if we are not willing to take the first step. So today, I'm going to encourage you, take the first step. I will be here with you along the way if you desire me to be, but just make sure you take the first step. Life will keep going, whether you sit still or not. So either you're going to grow and be the best version of yourself, or you're not. And that is a choice that each and every one of us has to make. So I want you to think about the things that you're doing in your life right now. Are they serving you, or are they not? The thoughts that are in your head, what are you telling yourself? When you look in the mirror, are you saying, oh my God, I feel great today, I'm beautiful? Or are you saying, oh, I wish I could lose weight here, or blah, blah, right? We tend to literally put ourselves down, and then we wonder why we are attracting the same energy in our lives. It starts right here. It starts with you. It starts with me, and it starts with us. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you stay tuned. I will be putting out videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. So everything that we do will be coming into community together. You can also make sure that you're putting comments on the videos. Again, make sure you're subscribing and you're sharing. All right. Because I want to help as many people as possible while I'm on this earth. We have a birth date and we have a death date. And what matters is the dash in between. So what are we doing during that dash? That's what I'm doing right now. So God bless you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.